the couple has to come first. Like partners have to make each other feel safe and offer that sense of safety to each other for everyone in the family to win.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like their partners, if they don't feel safe, are doing their own things to feel safe. But then also, children sense that. They sense that like mom or dad doesn't feel safe or isn't getting their needs met, and their survival is dependent on that, on their parents. So kids will fill in the gaps, and
Mm.
that's why we want to help people learn another way of doing this by offering each other the sense of safety and love and belonging. So then kids can just be kids. They're like, they got it. They're good. I'm not going to worry about them. I'm going to do, whatever it is I'm going to do. And that's ultimately what we really want to help people with.
Okay, so let's imagine like a couple has a kid, right? And they have a 3-year-old, maybe they got another one on the way. I don't know. Probably I didn't mean to describe your situation if that's what it is, Kara. But anyway, like so let's imagine that. But let's imagine a couple that maybe
She's
hasn't been
blonde and
she's blonde, she's wearing overalls, uh, and and there and so there may be feelings of like resentment or unfairness and stuff like that that are coming up, and there the maybe a listener is in a situation like that and saying, well, how do I get back to, I mean, we've already been in this pattern for a while, we've had a baby
Mhm.
bomb, we got another baby bomb coming, like it's a minefield of babies around here. And we gotta, how do we get back to this place of uh, a secure functioning team? Like for a lot of people it might feel like a really far off kind of idea.
do you want me to answer that?
Sure.
Well, if this was a natural thing, everybody would be doing it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and it is actually a natural thing if we think of how all unions are formed in a free society. Unions, unless it's a dictatorship or slavery, unions are based on shared principles, shared purpose, shared vision. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it, right? It's a deal
Mm,
or no
mhm,
deal kind of thing. So let's agree. Let's agree to do this, and let's agree not to do that.
mm,
We say, and that is the basis of all unions throughout human history. The only union that is oddly characteristically not doing this is the romantic union. The romantic union is the only one where people go in with some kind of tacit understanding or idea. Usually it's their separate ideas of what the relationship means and what the purpose of the relationship is. People will generally say it's about love, it's about attraction, it's about having spent time together, or it's because of the kids, when it really should be purpose centered, based on real things that people will do for each other and never do to each other, that they will work collaboratively and cooperatively, and that they will both get what they want and they will both avoid what they don't want. Right? That's how it should be. So
mhm.
whether you start before you have a baby, whether you start after you have a baby, whether you start when your kids are already grown, and it doesn't matter. Secure functioning relationships are the only kind that will last a very, very long time, as long as people wish, and will be happy. Any other system will end in rancor, threat, unhappiness, resentment, lots of memory of what happened that was never repaired. And so this is why we say that this is really the important thing that couples do at any point, to shore up their relationship and to ensure that the relationship is awesome, not just serviceable. Right? It's got to be great. Uh,
Mhm.
and so we have to remember that parenting is theater. We're showing, not telling our children how to
Mm,
do relationship, and they're watching. They're watching to see how we share amongst our partners, how we take
mhm.
care of each other, how we respect each other, how we fall on our own swords and make amends, even though that's hard to do, how we
Yeah.
fix things and repair. So all of these things are important, and it starts now. Um, And so it's never too late to start to build this in to the relationship. Otherwise, we'd all be in trouble. But we can learn to do this.
Yeah. And then I think like to the example like that you were saying, Hunter, like and kind of just like building on what you just said, Stan, it's like if that's happening in your relationship, it's great that you're aware of it. If
Mhm.
you've noticed like patterns of resentment building over the years. And I would say, I mean, obviously the first step like outside of awareness is like talking with your partner about in a very inclusive way, let's do something different. I don't think this is working for either one of us. So again, you're making like the problem outside of the couple.
Mhm.
And like then you're bringing in your partner to let's solve this.
Mhm.
This is not good. We're not connecting. We
Mhm.
love each other. We like each other, and we're doing things to each other and, outside of each other that's not fostering that to grow. And 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 that doesn't matter. That happens to couples. I mean, Stan and I see it in our practices all the time. It's like that's life. People change, people don't make plans, to have babies. Babies explode their lives, all sorts, all sorts of things. Life happens. And that has an impact on couples and they can fall into like destructive patterns with each other. I think that I just I know like as a partner myself, you can get out of destructive patterns. And I know as a clinician, you can get out of destructive patterns. And it takes that awareness and communicating and like coming in together for both people to attack it together, not attack each other. It's you're doing this, it's you're doing that. That's not going to work. You know, I it just isn't because it's just going to be a fight. They're off to the races. And we all know how to fight with our partners better than we know how to fight with anybody else. I mean, that's just like long-term partnership, you know? And what Stan and I are saying, and Baby Bomb and Stan says in his other work, is there's other ways to do this.
Catch new episodes of the Mindful Mama podcast and other free resources, including the Mindful Mom Guide at mindfulmamamentor.com. You can listen to every back catalog episode, including interviews with Dr. Dan Siegel, Ianla Van Zant, Sharon Salzberg, and get meditations, join our private Facebook group, and more. Go to mindfulmamamentor.com now. I'll see you there.